Well, and Mel and I talk about this all the time is he's very bad at pivoting, like with injuries and like obviously, the whole thing with,
Horrible.
yeah, he's awful. He very rarely, like the Acclaimed kind of forced his hand a little bit when they did the title change with that, but that's kind of an outlier. And this is why I go
Yeah.
back to my thoughts on Swerve. I want to be wrong, but he typically picks his champions out a year in advance, or he
Mhm.
books them out for the year. And Swerve didn't start getting real hot until middle of the year. And I think he probably
Oh,
already
you
had
don't
his
think
champ.
Swerve's getting belted this year?
I think it's going to be the international title. I don't think
Main title. I don't think he's. I don't think he's
not the
gonna
main
plan.
title. No, I think the international title. I think Tony is listening. Like I think it's with him going to Jags games and things like that. Like I think he sees it. He knows the fans are into it. I don't think it's enough for them to put the biggest title on him. So and people they're like put that championship on him. And I'm just trying to brace myself. I know how Tony he doesn't pivot and he rarely pivots. The fans rarely can force his hand enough. I think he'll be international champion, maybe TNT champion, but I know they're doing this obviously this big story with Christian and still with Luchasaurus / Kill Switch, and so I think the international title is where he goes, and then in 2020,
I can't stop calling him Kill Switchosaurus, and I'm not going to. I think it's the dumbest thing ever, and I'm just going to make fun of it.
But I was like, I want to be wrong, but I just think, and especially there's been rumors out there about what the plan for next year is. Obviously, you've got Ospreay coming in, and I'm sure they promised him, like, if you sign with us, we'll put the big boy title on you pretty soon.
There's a lot that I agree with you on that. The plans changing, it seemed like a lot that it even went to a 3-way at the C2 and putting Swerve in there. It felt like that was a last minute change, and it wasn't really ideal. Now, are we talking it's more important the journey to the belt for Swerve or the destination and what happened after? Because we're looking at a very busy 2024. And right now, the main event scene seems to be MJF, Hangman, Swerve, and Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Will Ospreay isn't here yet, but when he gets here, he's going to be in the mix as well. And it's going to probably be those guys for the foreseeable future.
Right.
With MJF having the title for 13 months, I'm not sure that was enough stability going forward after the chaos of the CM Punk, Moxley, Hangman, Tibby top of the belt, that we can start passing that main event title around to 3 different people in a calendar year again. So now that Samoa Joe has it, he's the only guy that's had it in 2024. Do you do one title change at some point this year, or do you do 2? Do you have the stories and the layout for that to be viable? If we do a journey for Swerve and you put the belt on him right now, what's waiting for him? We know there's a Hangman match waiting for him, but after that, then what? And then what? We're going to Forbidden Doors. He the guy to have the belt against a New Japan opponent going to that, or would it be better to have Samoa Joe as the guy in the Forbidden Door main event? These are all things that, like, as a fan, what you want to see should help Tony Khan decide what the best course of action is. And right now, I'm kind of leaning towards keep the belt on Joe.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very valid argument because, like you said, like once Swerve gets the title, then what? And that's, but I think so many fans are behind Swerve already, and so you don't want to do anything to kill that momentum for sure.
James had to bounce because we've been keeping him here. I was going to say something,
but yeah, so we got, and the fans are so behind Swerve and they love him so much and they just want to see, it's hard to, because like you see, obviously the Prince Nana stuff is really huge. And I keep pointing out Mogul Embassy has titles, but Swerve is the only one without one. And that's kind of, when you look at that group, Swerve is the one. So then because we were talking about because obviously, Mogul Embassy is wrestling Wednesday against the Bullet Club Gold. And I was like, do they keep the title on Mogul Embassy and then put like the international title on Swerve at Revolution? And then because Swerve put out there him versus Hangman at Wembley, and so that's what I keep going back to. I don't know if that's what the plan is. Hangman may be in a totally different. It could be Hangman and Joe, just so I keep going back. But that's something I go. Well, I'm sure actually that's probably Will Ospreay is probably going to get belted at Wembley because that's the big go home. That's the big homecoming story there. But yeah, you made a really good point with that. Is it the journey? Because once Swerve gets there, what do you do? And you have to have good talent there. And I think another reason they could go back with the international title is because when he lost that match to Orange Cassidy a few months ago, like fans lost it. They're like, how did he? Because that match was so good, and it looked like that might be the time that Orange was going to drop it. And I was like, he's not going to drop it before Wembley. But it almost is like he can get that rematch back, maybe at Revolution or something, and win the title there. And then maybe they keep the international title on him going into 2025 or something like that.
I hope they have hot feuds for Swerve, because I'm not sure if Tony put himself in a box with his Swerve booking. Because if he doesn't put the main title on him, he could lose a lot of momentum. But if the main title plans he thinks are better elsewhere, we may be in a situation where the window gets missed and he had to make a hard choice. If he can keep Swerve in feuds that keep him elevated and constantly building closer to the main title, that is ideally what needs to happen. I'm just not sure that that's going to happen.
Yeah,
you could probably do that. I mean, I'm kind of with Sam here now that I'm listening to you say it, though. I think that the international championship, the international title, might be a good vehicle for that, because essentially, like what Orange Cassidy has done is he's been so good, he's used it to like elevate other people. And that, I think, would help Swerve's journey even more, is that
absolutely
him elevating other people. Because I'm starting to look at that belt almost as a way of elevating.
Sure.
I just feel like that belt has almost become I'm the belt, like I'm going to carry this and I'm going to use it to like make other people make people pay attention to other people and me and my ability to wrestle.
It has become the workhorse title.